The views expressed are not those of local community broadcasting, WYML LP, or its management, volunteers, or underwriters. Greetings and welcome to the Personal Safety Show. This is Marcus Melnick from Firearm Mentor and Stress to Logic, your host. And today I have Angela Nelson from Damsel in Defense, which is an awesome company that provides all sorts of self-defense products. Angela, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to our listeners today.
Thank you so much, Marcus. I really appreciate you having me on.
Awesome. So can you start off by telling everyone what is your origin story? How did you get involved in Damsel in Defense? What is Damsel in Defense? And how did they get involved? And if I have to repeat some of these questions because I went rapid fire, I'm happy to do that. So we're going to start with, what is your personal origin story? How did you get involved in this business?
So the way I got involved was I was going through a divorce, and I was struggling with a lot of things I had gone through in an abusive relationship. And I had gone to this Christian empowerment meeting event, and it was really great. And there was a break, and I went out into the foyer, and there was a lady who was set up with a table, and she had the Damsel in Defense products there. I got to meet her. Her name was Autumn, and she actually has ended up being my bestie. But she introduced me to the products, and I loved everything I saw about the company and what they could do for me and for other women. Once I saw that they could help me, I wanted to help other people with them.
Terrific. So is this a franchise type opportunity?
So it is actually a direct sales company. So they give the Damsel Pros, that's what they call us, also call us safety educators. They give us all the tools that we need to be able to do these safety presentations. They give us all the training that we need. I have my own website and the products, and they give us all the support that we need.
So is this company kind of like, and forgive me for making a poor comparison, if it is a poor comparison, is it like a Pampered Chef? Or, there's another one. Yeah, like a Tupperware type thing. Is that kind of how it's like?
Similar.
Similar,
the
okay.
only difference is that the safety presentations that I do and that other pros do are in, say, your local PTO, PTA, a real estate group. They're taken into colleges. So it's not necessarily just something that a group of ladies would get together in their home, although we do that as well.
Okay.
So,
very good.
and yes,
okay.
In the same way that they do their, quote unquote parties, we call them Empower Hours or Warrior Workshops, safety presentations.
Very good. Can you tell us about the company Damsel in Defense? What's their philosophies, their origins, and whatever else you'd like to share about the main company?
Gotcha. Well, so from what I understand, I think it was around 2011, the founder of the company, Mindy, and her friend Bethany were in a mom's group together. And they saw a need for these type of products to get into the hands of their friends. And so they got together, I think in their garage, and decided to start a company doing this. Well, they started going to trade shows or markets and setting up their table, and they were doing so great. They realized that their next step was to try to get it out to more people. And they realized that direct sales was the best way to do that. So now at this point, I believe Mindy Lynn, her name is, and Jimmy run the company. And I have been with the company off and on since 2016, I believe, maybe late 2015. I've seen it grow, and they have gotten to the point where it's like a fine-oiled machine. It's not only a fine-oiled machine, but it's actually a community of like-minded, mostly women. We do have some men behind the mission as well. As a matter of fact, I helped a gentleman to become a Damsel Pro himself a while back ago, in which I'm also happy to help talk to people about that as well. But it's primarily women, and I love the community and the support that everyone gives one another.
Fantastic. So on the website, you mentioned, I'm going to call them, for lack of a better term, Tupperware parties. But you mentioned these parties, and I saw online that you can host an online party. How does that work?
So we set it up as either like a Zoom meeting that you would invite all your friends to for like a 1 hour demonstration and talk about the products, ask questions, maybe do some virtual type games or whatever. I also do a lot of instruction as far as how to use the pepper sprays and the stun devices and the other products as well, whatever the hostess would want me to focus on. And they actually get to earn free products for themselves or for their group. They earn free products, and they can earn half-price products as well. So, like, say if their order was over $1,000, they would earn 20%, so they could get $200 worth of products.
And these are the hosts of the parties,
both
correct?
half-price items. So
these are the hosts of the party, not I'm buying.
The host, yes, okay. The host of the party, and then if it was a smaller sale, $100 to $199, which that's usually not common, but they would get a half-price item.
Okay.
So I encourage the host to make her wish list, and usually other presentations and parties, empower hours, warrior workshops will spawn off of that. People who attend are going to want to bring those products to their
circles,
groups,
right?
Their mom group, their PTO, PTA, and even their companies.
Okay. I want my listeners to know that this is my dream, teaching people about safety. If it weren't for you, if it weren't for my listeners, I couldn't live my dream. So on behalf of my family and myself, I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to live my dream. And I also want to continue to live my dream, and I'm excited to continue to spread the word of safety. Recently, I began a new service as a conference keynote speaker. So if anyone would like for me to speak at future events, or if anyone knows of an introduction or would like to discuss how we can work with one another, I'd love to do just that. The keynote speaking website is www.stress2logic.com. That is STRESS2logic.com. If you're aware of any conference speaking engagements where you'd like to have me speak, I'd love an introduction. You can always share my electronic business card, which is Marcus Melnick, MarcusMelnick.com. Now, back to the show. So as a pepper spray instructor, I have a couple of questions for you. But before I do, can you share your website with everybody?
Sure. Yeah, there's two ways you can get to it. You can go directly there by going to mydamselpro.net/pro, that's PRO, 30647/. So it's mydamselpro.net/pro 30647/. Or they can go to, I have a digital business card that has the link to the website and also has a couple videos on there. AngelaDamsel.pro. ANGELA. D as in David, A as in Apple, M as in Mary, S as in Sam, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, .pro, PRO.
So the question I have on pepper spray is, when you talk about it, do you talk about how to decontaminate someone after they've been sprayed?
That is a great question. But I will tell you that an assailant who has the pepper spray on them, they don't realize it usually, but it has a UV dye that is left on their skin that shows up under a black light, which helps the authorities to be able to identify them. But as far as removing it, I believe they're water soluble, so just water, lots of rinsing. But the idea when using it is to spray and get away. And it allows the time that the victim needs to make their escape. Because the pepper sprays, it causes extreme pain. It's non-lethal. It's a non-lethal self-defense tool. And it's non-flammable, but it causes extreme pain, temporary blindness, choking, coughing, and nausea to the attacker. And all those things together gives them the time they need to escape. And now, as far as testing out the products, some of the braver Damsel Pro husbands have tested the products. And there are videos out there that have that where you can watch and see their reactions. And it's very interesting.
So I ask that because sometimes, and I'm thinking of this from a law enforcement perspective, if you are a police officer and you spray someone, which happens, pretty regularly across the country, and you get some of the spray on you, it's how to self-decontaminate, which is what not that you would treat the offender, but that you would treat yourself.
Well, I will tell you, I'm so glad you asked that question because we have a new product, a new pepper spray now that is a foam spray.
Okay.
They call it sticky spray. And it's kind of like insulation foam when it comes out. It still shoots, like all of our pepper sprays, shoot up to 16 feet. And it's the same strength. It's one of the hottest pepper sprays on the market. They're 1.45 capsaicinoids. I don't know if I said that right. Or also measured at 2 million Scoville heat units.
Okay, and I will tell you, that's a spicy meat the ball. I'm saying that to be funny. I'm going to share a couple stories with my listeners about pepper spray. Very early on in my career, I became a pepper spray instructor, and I was working in healthcare security management. And it's kind of funny, I didn't expect you to bring up pepper foam, but that's the actual product that we used in hospital settings. They also use it in prison settings so it doesn't cross-contaminate other people. So that's actually what I recommend for people, to get the foam or a gel product, which is we're totally on the same page there. So here I was at a police department that I ironically later ended up working at. It just happened to be where the training seminar was. And I have a video of me getting sprayed. And boy, that stuff works. Holy cow, does it work. Nothing was spicy for me for a couple days after that. The scenario was, we had a run at the instructor. He was going to spray us. He did spray us. And then we had to find him. And when you talk about temporary blindness, the capsaicin, which is the active ingredient in pepper spray, is a vasodilator. So once it hits the skin or the mucous membranes or the eyes, what happens is it dilates all the vessels there. And as far as your eyes go, it's like getting eye drops at the eye doctor, but it's a lot worse because there's pain. The best way that I can describe it for working is, if you have a gas stove and you turn it on high and put your face on that burner, that's what it feels like. It's
Ooh.
not fun. The
Yeah.
second time, so I got sprayed there. I was a young, early 20s. I bring the video to my mom and my sister. And when I got sprayed, they applauded. I was like, thanks a lot, Mom. So they had a big kick out of it. If you go on my Facebook page, you might be able to find it, because I think I did post it to Facebook many, many years later. Facebook didn't exist for many years since I did that. The second time, I thought I was cool, but I wasn't. I was working again in security management. I was in an office complex, and I left to go to lunch. So I go out the front door, and I had an aerosol pepper spray product on my keychain. And apparently I must have gotten too close to a goose nest, because this goose came after me. And I sprayed it, except there was a little tiny breeze, and this aerosol product went right in my face. And if you haven't figured it out, people, I'm a jokester. So here I go. I stumble back into my office. It happened to be April 1st. I tell everyone that I sprayed myself accidentally, and nobody believed me. Nobody helped me, because they thought I was doing an April Fool's joke on them. Until I went to the bathroom to put copious amounts of water on my face to get the pepper spray off of it. And it had about a 45-minute effect. So as far as spray and get away, that's a great, great technique. I use that in my firearm classes, because I tell people, really, you're going to carry this tiny little gun in your pocket. Maybe when you get into a gunfight, you want the biggest gun possible, but when you're carrying it, you want the smallest gun possible so your pants don't fall down. So the whole idea with concealed carry and self-defense is buy yourself time to get away, and then let the authorities handle the emergency. So I love what you're saying. We're definitely on the same page. And I'd like to get into what is on your website. So on the website, there are what's called trending bundles and a sale. Can you talk about the trending bundles and how they appeal to people?
Yes. So what we try to encourage people to do is to layer their protection. So rather than just getting a pepper spray, or just getting a stun device, or just getting a socket slim, which is some people call them Kubotans.
Right.
We have a way that they can buy all three of those in a package with what we call arm candy. It's like a oversized bracelet, and they're really cute. I mean, if I can get kind of girly, but they have little pom-poms on them, or the one we have has kind of some faux leather tassels, and you can connect your sprays to that. Some of our sprays have what's called a disabling pin, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it won't work if that pin is not inserted into it. So an assailant can't take it from you and use it against you. And so those bracelets have the disabling pin as part of it. And so you can attach that. And then also another thing are the ones that don't have the disabling pin, they have where you can turn the nozzle to the side so that it doesn't get accidentally deployed and used, with small children around, or what like that. So also wanted to mention that one of the bundles that we have is you get the pepper spray that has the sticky foam with your regular pepper spray. And so what we encourage people to do is, if it's a windy day, be sure to have the foam in the pepper spray decanter. And if it's not, and you're outdoors, use the other spray. If you're indoors, you want to have in a small, tight space, you want to have the foam spray, the sticky foam.
Very good. Very good. You are picking up what I'm laying down. It's like you've been to all my classes, which is good. What that tells me is I'm doing things right, and you're doing things right too. So,
yeah, we also talk a lot about situational awareness.
Right.
And all the things that you can do to keep you from having to use these tools.
Very good. How effective are these on animals? And I love animals, but I live in Chicago, and all the construction pushes the coyote population into people's backyards. As a matter of fact, that in my town, there was somebody fell asleep and a coyote went through their screen door into their house. And that's kind of scary. So would these be effective on animals that would, be not friendly to humans?
Well, what I would recommend in a situation like that to have at your home, we have one that's called the Flip Shot, and it's 2 ounces, and it shoots up to 22 feet because you don't really even want to get within 16 feet of of a bear or a coyote.
Right.
And then we have one that's bigger. It's 9 ounces that shoots 27 feet. And they're quick release, so you can use it with one-hand operation. And as far as how effective they are, that's what they're basically made for. If you're a camper, you like hiking, being outdoors, this is something that you might want to take along with you.
So what I hear you saying is it's for both 4-legged creatures and 2-legged creatures as well.
Yes.
Okay, that's
now,
a little joke.
I haven't tried it on any animals, so
good.
Myself personally, but I do know that they laboratory test all of their products.
Okay, awesome. So one of my philosophies is guns aren't for everyone. I get that. They're just not. Some people don't have it in them to use a firearm on another person, and a electronic stun device or a pepper spray device or any of the things that you sell are fantastic. I don't want to call them substitutes because the level of force is not the same, but certainly options for people. I've actually discouraged some people from getting a firearms license, and I said, you need pepper spray because they just don't have it in them and the gun would be taken away from them, whereas pepper spray is a little bit easier for someone who's hesitant to use. So definitely a viable self-defense strategy and products. And you also have some sales. Can you talk about what's on sale right now?
Yes. Right now we have those bundles. And if somebody wants to see them, they can go to the website and look under monthly specials. And right now we have the Stun and Strike bundle, which is the socket slim and the arm candy or the silicone bracelet and the stun device. The one that's included with it's called Get a Grip stun device. And so you get all of those for $109.97.
Okay.
And then we also have we have another one for $104.97 that has it's actually called the silicone arm candy.
Very good.
They're really cute. I mean,
yeah, sure.
They're really cute. Like the beads are about the size of a marble, and it's big enough to put just about any size arm into, and it makes it so easy to carry. And what I usually do is they have little hook things that you can hook onto something. So I'll hook them onto, say, a zipper inside of my purse. And then when I'm leaving the store, I'll unhook it. And we also have ones that they're called breakaways, and they pull apart real easy. So if you need to get it really fast, but I'll take them and then carry them with the arm candy as I'm going to my car.
I love what these are called, arm candy, and I think it's cool. As far as you're going to have to help me out here, the Kubaton, what do you guys call that?
It's socket slim.
So
it's called a striking tool.
Yeah, so is that just like a pointed striking tool, or is it also, are people taught how to use it as a Kubaton, which is a pain point manipulating device?
So I have a PDF that I give to my customers that has the striking point locations, which ones have the, that you want to aim for, which ones are intermediate and which ones are low. And that way people kind of have an idea where to aim for if somebody is coming after them.
Okay. And using the product in that way, I think is a great thing because you're talking about gross motor skills as opposed to fine motor skills, which kind of go away during an adrenaline dump.
Oh, right. Exactly.
Segueing to something.
Not lose to when that adrenaline strikes, if they have practiced using these products, carrying them all the time and have situational awareness and keep it in the forefront of their minds, that they'll be easier to use.
Do you sell inert products?
When you say inert products, what are you referring to?
I got my wife some pepper spray a long time ago, and I ordered it off Amazon. This is before we met. So what I did was I bought an actual canister of pepper spray, and I bought another canister that had product in it, but it smelled like Lemon Pledge. I hung a target on the outside, and I said, "This is where you spray," and I let her use the inert product. So it's a foam or it's a spray, but it doesn't have any of the OC or oleoresin capsicum stuff in it.
We as Damsel pros can get those to practice with, and I believe the customer can as well.
And I would recommend that.
I think they're filled with like water.
Yeah, yeah, it's something not harmful, but at least people can see how far it actually will go, because you can say 16 feet, 20 feet, 80 feet. Nobody knows what that means. Not nobody, but a lot of people don't know what 16 feet is. So by actually doing it, they can say, all right, well, the canister reaches so far and we're good to go. Now I know. How often should you rotate your pepper spray products as a consumer?
It is generally best to replace them once a year.
What happens if you don't?
Well, they may not work as well, and so they could evaporate inside of the canister. You want to make sure that you're prepared for expired products.
Very good.
And so the nice thing is that the pepper sprays that we sell, the canisters, you can switch out those refills, and the refills are not as much as the actual first one that you buy.
Stay tuned, because when we return, we'll be continuing the conversation with Angela Nelson of Damsel in Defense. The views expressed are not those of local community broadcasting, WYML LP, or its management, volunteers, or underwriters.